Have you observed a widening gap between you and your family, as though you are no longer a part of the same unit? You navigate a path that is both familiar and unfamiliar, bearing the weight of accumulated experience and knowledge. The facts are indisputable. This marks the conclusion of your journey. With each step, you are brought closer to a realization that has a profound impact on your inner self. You begin to recognize the unmistakable signs that this is your final life. The initial indication is that this is your final life cycle. This is reflected in the significant emotional divide between you and your family. It is as though you were born into a tribe that speaks a different language, where love is conditional and understanding is elusive. You are seated in a dimly lit living room, the atmosphere thick with unspoken tension. Your mother's voice cuts through the silence, each word a calculated barb designed to cause distress. The distance between you is not merely emotional, it is a tangible force, a barrier of energy that grows higher and colder with each passing day. Despite your best efforts, the connection remains tenuous, as if the ties that once bound you to them are gradually unraveling. You perceive that this distance is not merely coincidental, but rather a crucial step in your spiritual growth and evolution. The room is illuminated by a flickering light, which creates an eerie effect as shadows dance across the walls. You sense the presence of an unseen guide. The voice is unmistakable. This detachment is the challenging yet crucial step in completing your karmic journey. The significance of this realization is palpable, yet empowering. You have outgrown this connection and are no longer dependent on their validation. With each criticism, you feel the final cords of attachment loosening, preparing you for your ultimate ascension. You stand to leave, the coolness of the room affecting your body temperature, and as you cross the threshold, you realize that this is not just a moment of departure, but a symbolic severance. This is the final occasion on which you will experience this level of discomfort. It is the last opportunity to conclude this phase of your life. With the closing of the door, you are not only leaving the house, but also the entire karmic cycle that brought you here. You walk away with the conviction that this distance and isolation are indications that your soul is preparing for its final release and ascension. The second indicator is that you are the least conventional member of the group. You have consistently demonstrated a tendency to challenge the status quo, question established norms, and pursue unconventional paths, often at the risk of being perceived as an outsider. At a family gathering, you find yourself in a corner, your presence almost ghostly, while your relatives engage in lively discussion and seem to understand each other intuitively. You attempt to contribute to the discussion, but your input is met with confusion and a lack of engagement, further widening the gap between you and those present. The energy in the room seems to reject your presence, indicating that you are no longer aligned with the superficial bonds and inherited beliefs that define this world. As the surrounding atmosphere becomes increasingly jovial, you experience a sudden surge of insight, as though the veil between lifetimes is lifting to reveal a series of past lives where you have played this very role, that of the outsider, the catalyst for uncomfortable truths. Each vision provides further insight and understanding. In each of your previous incarnations, you have been regarded as an outsider. However, in this instance, the situation is different. This iteration, the isolation and alienation are not merely a role, they are a definitive test. The atmosphere becomes noticeably more intense, and you feel your heartbeat accelerating as the implications of this realization become clear. This is your final cycle on Earth, marking the culmination of a recurring sequence of events. The disconnection you feel is not limited to your family, it extends to the entire karmic web that has bound you to them across lifetimes. The magnitude of this realization leaves you momentarily speechless, yet it also instills a peculiar sense of calm. You have fulfilled your role and challenged the status quo sufficiently to achieve complete freedom from it. The scene around you fades, the voices become distant echoes, and you stand in the quiet aftermath, aware that this is the last occasion on which you will feel like a stranger in your own life. The third indication that this is your final life is the inexplicable urge to break free. A strong, persistent desire to deviate from societal expectations and the monotony of routine indicates that you are prepared to transcend this earthly plane. You awaken in the middle of the night to find the room stifling and your heart racing with a force that rattles your very core. This is not a typical restlessness, it is a fundamental call from your inner self, seeking liberation from the constraints of a life that is no longer aligned with your true purpose. Without hesitation, you retrieve a bag and begin filling it with essential items, as if guided by an unseen force. The seconds pass with the sound of a clock ticking, reflecting the sense of urgency that pulses through your veins. You proceed with haste to the nearest bus station, the fluorescent lights flickering like the final throes of a dying star. The destination is inconsequential. The crucial point is the act of breaking away. This is the tangible expression of your soul's defiance against the limitations of this reality. As you board the bus, a sense of tranquility washes over you, eclipsing the turbulence that once dominated your thoughts. This is not merely about leaving a place or a life behind. It is also about rejecting the illusion of permanence and the notion that one must conform, submit, or endure. As the journey progresses, the constraints of conventional expectations gradually dissipate, akin to the falling of leaves in a storm. The darkness outside reflects the vast unknown that lies ahead, yet you feel no trepidation, only the exhilarating rush of freedom. You have come to recognize that this desire to escape is not primarily a physical phenomenon, but rather a spiritual one. It is the ultimate act of defiance on the part of the soul, a declaration that you are no longer willing to tolerate the trivialities of this world. You have outgrown the need to conform to the expectations of a society that is unable to comprehend the depth of your personal journey. The path before you represents a significant step up, and you feel it in every aspect of your being. This is your final opportunity to embark on a journey of self-discovery and embrace the boundless freedom of the soul. The fourth sign is that this is your last life. It is also characterized by the frequent experience of déjà vu. The recurring sensation that you have previously lived this life in different bodies and times is an indication that your soul is nearing its completion. As you walk down a street in a foreign city, you are struck by the overwhelming sense that you have seen this scene before, despite the unfamiliar surroundings. The faces of strangers merge into figures with which you are already familiar, their expressions mirroring emotions you have previously observed in numerous lifetimes. The aroma of the air, a blend of spices and distant precipitation, strikes you with the intensity of a memory yet to be experienced, yet profoundly familiar. Each step is akin to a reenactment, as though your feet are tracing the paths of another individual who has previously traversed this route. However, the individual in question is, in fact, you, merely in a different form and at a different point in time. As you turn the corner, the city's sounds transform into a symphony of voices from past lives, intensifying the sensation. In the brief period of darkness that follows, a multitude of visions overwhelms your senses. A series of images, locations, and emotions, each life presented with remarkable clarity. Each scene reveals a chapter of your soul's journey, including both triumphs and failures, as well as the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The déjà vu that now affects you is of a different nature, suggesting a sense of finality. It is as though your soul is communicating with you, presenting these fragments to serve as a reminder that you are not merely living this life, but rather concluding it. The repetition is not a coincidence. This is the universe's way of indicating that your journey through these lifetimes is nearing its conclusion. The overwhelming familiarity and sense of déjà vu are not mere coincidences. This is your soul's way of preparing you for the final act. As the visions recede and reality reasserts itself, the unavoidable reality of the situation becomes apparent. This is your final opportunity to walk this street, live this life, and feel this way. It is time to acknowledge that your current situation is coming to a conclusion. Your soul is aware of this fact. The fifth indication that this is your final life is your strong inclination towards mysticism and the occult. An insatiable appetite for information about the spiritual and mystical realms indicates that your soul is preparing for its ultimate departure. You find yourself in a bookstore, its dim lighting creating a sense of atmosphere. A compelling attraction draws you towards a concealed area where the atmosphere is permeated with the aroma of aged paper and forgotten wisdom. The shelves are lined with ancient texts and mystical symbols, which seem to beckon to you as if they have been waiting for your attention. You run your fingers over the spines of these tomes, noting the peculiar energy that emanates from each one. The book suddenly becomes available. E for purchase. It is a substantial, leather-bound volume containing a wealth of esoteric knowledge. Upon opening the book, the pages appear to emit a faint glow, as if they were alive, and arcane symbols and cryptic writings come into view. The content of the page evokes a profound resonance within you, evoking memories of bygone lives and hitherto unknown truths. You come to understand that these secrets are not merely enigmas to be solved, but elements of a larger puzzle that your soul has been assembling over the course of numerous lifetimes. As you delve deeper into the book, the energy in the room intensifies. The universe is guiding you, urging you to unlock these final mysteries and absorb this knowledge before your last ascension. Each word and symbol represents a key that unlocks the door to a realm beyond the physical, a realm where you have previously walked. The moment is intense, as if the weight of the entire universe is on your shoulders, urging you to understand, to remember, and to transcend. You are certain that this knowledge is the final piece of the puzzle, the last bit of wisdom your soul needs before it can depart this world forever. The book concludes with a definitive finality, akin to the sound of a heavy object being closed. In this sound, you hear the echo of the conclusion of numerous lifetimes, and the imminent end of your earthly journey. The sixth indicator that this is your final life is the profound connection you feel to nature. The natural world beckons, not as a haven, but as a reminder of the cyclical nature of life and death. You are on the cusp of transcending this cycle. You find yourself at the precipice of a cliff, the wind howling in your ears, as if the earth itself is speaking directly to your soul. The vast ocean stretches endlessly below, its waves crashing against the jagged rocks in a relentless, rhythmic dance that mirrors the beat of your heart. Each wave represents a heartbeat of the planet, and each crash serves as a reminder of the relentless cycles that govern all living things. You experience the ancient energy of the earth flowing through your veins, linking you to the soil beneath your feet and the sky above your head. It provides a sense of stability in the present moment, while also suggesting the need for a shift in perspective. This connection is not merely a connection to life, but also a release from the constraints of the everyday. As you close your eyes, the wind seems to carry with it the memories of numerous past experiences, including the lessons learned and the paths traversed. The surrounding elements, including the air, water, and stone, indicate the occurrence of endings and beginnings, as well as the repetition of cyclical processes that have been ongoing for some time, but are now reaching a conclusion. The Earth's energy pulses through you, providing a steady, comforting rhythm. However, it also carries an undercurrent of urgency, serving as a reminder that you are nearing the end of your earthly ties. You have consistently demonstrated a proclivity towards nature, not merely for its aesthetic appeal, but because it encapsulates the mysteries of life and death, the fundamental truths that your soul has been seeking. However, at this moment, you recognize that this connection is distinct. This is not a directive to remain, but rather a call to transcend. The ocean's vast expanse serves as a beacon, not as a destination, but as a gateway to something beyond. You are aware, with absolute certainty, that you will soon be released from this cycle. And nature, in all its power, is here to bear witness to your final release. The seventh sign indicates that this is your final life. It also indicates that you will experience intense, prophetic dreams. Your dreams are no longer mere fragments of your subconscious, they are vivid, prophetic visions that guide you through your final days on Earth. In the dream, you find yourself standing before a large mirror. The surface of the mirror is shimmering and appears to be made of liquid silver. The light is ethereal. As you gaze into the mirror, your reflection undergoes a transformation, displaying numerous iterations of yourself from various lifetimes. Each face that appears represents a different iteration of the subject, some old, some young, some bearing the marks of adversity, and others radiant with joy. Each of the individuals in the reflection looks back at you with eyes full of understanding. They offer you insights and guidance based on the wisdom they have accumulated throughout their numerous lifetimes. The mirror is not a conventional piece of glass. It is, in fact, a gateway to the depths of your soul, revealing truths that you have always carried but never fully grasped until now. The reflections shift with greater frequency, each version of you appearing and then disappearing as if in a flash. Then, without warning, they cease. The mirror focuses on the current version of you. Your reflection is reflected with a level of intensity that causes a physical reaction. You understand that this is the final iteration of your soul that you will see in this mirror before it transcends the cycle of life and death. The dream is so vivid that every detail is imprinted on your mind as if you are experiencing it in real time. You awaken abruptly, your heart rate elevated, your breathing shallow, but your mind clear. The sense of clarity that floods you is indisputable. These dreams are not merely nocturnal excursions, they are messages from the universe, preparing you for what lies ahead. These dreams are designed to provide guidance, direction, and insight into the final destination of your soul's journey. As you close your eyes at night, you are not merely transitioning into a state of repose. You are entering a domain where your destiny is laid bare. The dreams serve as the final keys to unlocking your ultimate purpose. The eighth sign is your last life. This is indicated by Yo. You are detachment from materialism. You no longer prioritize material possessions, status, or wealth. Your attention is directed towards the intangible and eternal aspects of existence. You walk through a luxurious shopping mall, the air thick with the scent of new leather and expensive perfume, as you are surrounded by displays of wealth. Each storefront is a testament to material excess, offering enticements of status and luxury. However, none of these stimuli evoke any emotional response, whether it be longing, desire, or even a sense of emptiness. The vibrant colors, polished glass, and dazzling lights appear to be mere illusions, flickering shadows in a world that no longer holds your attention. As you move past the glittering facades, they blur into a monotonous haze, and you feel a pull, a gentle but insistent tug, which guides you away from this hollow spectacle. You are drawn to a small, quiet shop tucked away in a corner, its entrance almost hidden from the world's distractions. The interior is perfumed with the aroma of incense, and the gentle illumination of crystals creates a tranquil ambience. The establishment is unassuming, yet it exudes a vibrant energy that resonates deeply with customers. This establishment offers a sense of tranquility and a connection to something enduring and pure. You peruse the merchandise on display, taking no tangible items, yet feeling a sense of increased wealth and well-being in the midst of the store's opulence. The sense of detachment is profound and serves as an undeniable indicator that your soul is shedding its final ties to the earthly realm. The appeal of material possessions is eclipsed by the understanding that these things are mere diversions, substantial constraints that bind minds to the transient. This establishment offers a tranquil environment, providing a respite from the clamor of the outside world. It serves as a reminder that true wealth is not determined by material possessions, but by one's understanding and knowledge. You exit the establishment with a clear mind and a sense of purpose, having recognized that this detachment represents the final shedding of earthly desires and the culmination of a process that will forever transcend your soul beyond the limitations of this world. The night sign indicates that this is your final life. It also signifies inner peace, even in the midst of chaos. In the midst of life's turbulence, you find yourself calm and centered, aware that your soul is preparing for its final journey. The world is experiencing a period of significant turmoil, with a rise in heated arguments, global conflicts, and natural disasters. The current state of affairs is chaotic, with a multitude of challenges and difficulties affecting every aspect of life. Despite the turbulence and uncertainty that prevail in the external environment, a sense of inner calm and composure persists within your soul. You remain calm and composed amidst the turmoil, maintaining a steady breathing pattern and a stable heart rate. The background noise of the world fades into the background, unable to penetrate the fortress of peace that you have built around yourself. You close your eyes and engage in meditation, not to avoid the demands of the external environment, but to connect with the divine presence that has become an integral part of your inner landscape. The energy in the surrounding environment shifts, becoming warmer and more vibrant, as if a celestial force is providing nurturing support. You perceive that this peace is not the result of ignorance or denial, but rather a profound and ancient wisdom, a knowledge that transcends the physical and touches the eternal. The external environment may appear chaotic, but the internal environment is serene. This reflects your soul's readiness to move beyond this world. In this environment of calm, you recognize that you are safeguarded and directed by forces that transcend your current understanding. These forces have prepared you for this moment across numerous lifetimes. The peace you feel is a testament to the lessons learned, the karmic debts paid, and the wisdom gained. This is the final indication that your soul has reached its pinnacle and conclusion. Upon concluding your meditation, you may find that the world's chaos persists, yet you remain undisturbed, akin to a tranquil river flowing through a tempest. This inner peace serves as a guiding light, illuminating the path towards the conclusion of your earthly journey and the commencement of your soul's next significant undertaking. As you recognize these indications, you can be certain that your soul's journey on this earth is nearing its conclusion. Every challenge, every instance of discomfort, and every lesson gained were essential steps in reaching this final stage. This chapter is not inscribed in the transitory medium of time, but rather in the enduring light of your soul's accumulated wisdom. It would be incorrect to view these signs as mere coincidences. These cosmic markers serve to guide you toward the culmination of your earthly existence, facilitating your ascension to a higher plane of spiritual evolution. You are at a pivotal point in your journey, where the accumulated weight of your experiences is beginning to lift, and you are prepared to rise beyond the physical. It is important to recognize that these signs represent the final indications of a soul that is nearing the end of its journey. The present moment is an optimal time to share your experiences, insights, and perspectives, which may offer unique insights and value to others. Your experiences are not just personal milestones, they are also valuable resources for others on their own journeys. By sharing your wisdom, you can make a lasting impact on the world that extends beyond the confines of this lifetime.